Hello everyone, my name is Serafi and I'm happy to meet you all. Check out this board. It's crazy, right? Look at all those synchro dragons. Do you want to make this board? Well, thanks to Zedlock, who is a YouTuber that you should definitely subscribe to. I'm going to put his channel in the description. There are a lot of different ways that you can reach a powerful end board like this using Red Dragon Archfiend and Centur-ion. I'm going to go ahead and explain some of these combos to you from Zed's original video, which I'm going to post in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Serafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today I'm going to be highlighting the new Red Dragon Archfiend deck. It's really powerful. I already reviewed the contents of it. I think it's very strong, and I was able to build a very cohesive, very powerful Centur-ion Red Dragon Archfiend deck in just one day with the support that I was able to get from the structure deck. So let's take a look at some combos that we can do. To start with, we're going to play with just Soul Resonator. I have other cards in hand. We're not going to use them except to discard. So, normal summon the Soul Resonator effect to add the Bone Archfiend from the deck to the hand. Bone Archfiend, pitch this max C so it doesn't drive me crazy. Okay. Archfiend effect, target the Soul Resonator, dump the Crimson Resonator, lower Soul's Resonator's level to 2. Now we can synchro summon into the Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon effect on summon, bring back the Crimson Resonator. Crimson Resonator effect, since the only monster we control is a Dark Dragon Synchro monster, we can summon 2 monsters from our deck and we choose Synchron and Vision. Okay, now we will use the Vision and the Red Rising Dragon to go into the Scarred Dragon Archfiend. Vision effect, we'll grab the Crimson Gaia. Then we'll activate Crimson Gaia and we'll use its effect to get Red Zone. Set that face down. Alright, now we synchro the Crimson Resonator and the Red Dragon Archfiend into the Bestial Dispater. This triggers the effect of Scarred Dragon Archfiend, so we can special summon Red Dragon Archfiend from our extra deck. And now we will Synchron and Red into the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, which is an Omni Negate. Excellent. Synchron effect, bring back the Vision Resonator from our graveyard to our hand. And now we can special summon Vision Resonator and use Vision and Bestial Dispater to go into our Centur-ion Auxilla. Centur-ion Auxilla's effect, add Time to Stand Up from our deck to our hand. Now we activate Time to Stand Up and we'll use its effect, Stand Up Centur-ion. Discard a card to set the Trudea from the deck. Trudea effect to special summon herself. And then Trudea effect to place herself in the back row, and then also set the Centur-ion Primera in the back row. Okay, now we end our turn. So here's what happens. We have our face-up spells and traps can't be destroyed. That includes our red zone. We have an Omni Negate. And then, during our opponent's turn, first we're going to activate red zone. Alright, now we activate Primera's effect and Trudea's effect during the main phase. Special summon Trudea. Change her level to 8. Special summon Primera. Primera effect is a chain link 1, and then we chain block with stand up Centur-ion. So we can search without Ash. And we synchro summon into the Crimson Dragon. Primera, grab Auxilla. Crimson Dragon effect, target the Centur-ion Auxilla, and synchro summon into the Red Supernova Dragon. Okay, so now let's take a look at our board. We have an Omni Negate. We have a field spell that lets us synchro summon and dodge removal. We have the ability to revive a red dragon archfiend from our graveyard if a monster is destroyed. We have red zone. Centur-ion Auxilla protects all these back row. Then we have red supernova dragon. Red supernova dragon cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and once per turn when your opponent's monster activates an effect, or when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can activate this effect, banish red supernova dragon, also banish all cards your opponent controls. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sarathi. This looks like a pretty decent end board for one card and then two cards that you discarded. But what is the red zone for? I know red zone. Red zone says when your opponent activates a card effect while you control red dragon archfiend, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. But you don't have one of those, so what's the point? It's the second effect. You can target one of your banish dark dragon synchro monsters and special summon it. So once we banish the red supernova dragon, we can bring it back to the field. Ah, well, that is a wall. It has a lot of attack points. It has the ability to not be destroyed by card effects, but that's all it does, right? Wrong. The effect of red supernova dragon to banish every card your opponent controls is a soft once per turn. Why? Who knows? But if you have red zone out, you can recycle the red supernova dragon and you can nuke your opponent's field twice. Is that fair? No. No, it's not. Also, it's royal. Enjoy. All right. That's the first combo. All right, guys. Let's take a look at the next combo, which is what happens if you have Crimson Resonator and Bone Archfiend. This combo is a little bit more complicated, but it ends with a much stronger end board. First up, we're going to special summon Crimson Resonator from the hand. All right. Next, we're going to normal summon our Bone Archfiend. Now we can synchro into the Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon effect, bring back the Crimson Resonator. Crimson Resonator effect, we're going to special summon from our deck the Vision Resonator and the Soul Resonator. Soul Resonator effect, we would add Synchron Resonator from our deck to our hand right here, but we already have it. So, whatever. Okay. Now, we synchro the Soul Resonator and the Red Rising Dragon into the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Then we're going to special summon the Synchron Resonator, and we'll use Synchron Resonator and Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss to go into our Bestial Despoter. That triggers Synchron Resonator so we can add the Soul Resonator back to our hand. Now that we have Soul Resonator in our hand, we can pitch it to activate the effect of the Bone Archfiend in our graveyard special summon it. So now we have two Bone Archfiends because we had one in the normal summon. Alright. Bone Archfiend effect, we're going to target our Crimson Resonator. We're going to send the Obsessive UV Loop from our deck to the graveyard to decrease Crimson Resonator's level. Now I know what you're thinking. A level 1? What do you need that for? It'll be there in a second. Now we synchro into another Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon effect, not once per turn. Red Rising effect activates as a Chain Link 1, targeting the Synchron Resonator, and Vision's effect activates as a Chain Link 2 to give us the Crimson Gaia. Now we activate the Crimson Gaia, and we'll use the effect to add the Red Zone from deck to hand. Alright, now, from our graveyard, we activate Obsessive UV Loop that we banished. We banish the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss from our graveyard to add Obsessive UV Loop back to the hand. Then we'll activate its effect, and we banish the Red Rising Dragon from our graveyard to special summon it. Now check this out. 6 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 Red Supernova Dragon. Next up, and we can use Synchron Resonator's effect to get back our Vision Resonator. Next up, we'll use Bestial Despoter to bring back our Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss so we can have an Omni Negate. Then we special summon the Vision, and we go into the Auxilla again. Auxilla effect. Grab the stand-up Centur-ion. Activate stand-up Centur-ion. Centur-ion effect, pitch the card from our hand to play the Trudea. Trudea special summon itself. Trudea effect. Pull the Primera. And we pass. And then during our opponent's turn, activate the red zone so we have the double Banish. Now we Primera as a Chain Link 1, and Trudea as a Chain Link 2. Primera effect as a Chain Link 1, and then stand up to Chain Block. Go into the Crimson Dragon. Draw the Auxilla, or sorry, the Attribute for turn. Crimson Dragon, target the Auxilla, tag it into the Cosmic Blazar Dragon. Okay, so now we have 2 Omnis, or we can negate a summon, and we can banish the opponent's field twice, and none of our spells and traps can be destroyed. There you go. All right. Good card. Now let's take a look at the next replay. All right. Now this one is a doozy. This one's a little bit out there. But if you really want to play Jack Atlas, this is the combo for you. Using the new card, Crimson Red Flame Lotus King. So for this combo, we need the Crimson Resonator and the Bone Archfiend. So, Crimson effect, special summon itself. Then we normal summon the Bone Archfiend and we'll synchro into our Red Rising Dragon. You might wonder, what happens if my Red Rising Dragon gets inferred? That's what the Centur-ion cards are for. Red Rising effect, target to the Crimson Resonator. Crimson Resonator, special summon the Vision and the Soul from the Grave. Soul effect, add the Lotus. Alright, now we synchro into the Scarred Dragon Archfiend. Vision effect. Grab Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia effect. Grab the red zone. Then we'll synchro into the Bestial Despoter. Scarred effect, special summon the Red Dragon Archfiend. Next up, we'll activate Red Lotus King Flame Crimes effect. We can special summon it if we control a Fiend Tuner, and then we burn our opponent for 800. Now we're going to synchro into another Red Rising Dragon, because it's 3 and 3. Red Rising effect, but then we can also activate, and we're going to choose the Soul Resonator, but we can also activate the Red Lotus Flame King's effect, which lets us send Red Rain from our deck to the graveyard. So now we'll synchro into the Hot Red. And that triggers Red Rain so we can add it back to our hands. Now we have Red Rain for even more AoE. Okay, next up from the graveyard, we're going to activate Bone Archfiend's effect, and we'll send the Crimson Gaia that we control to the graveyard. Special summon. And use its effect, target to the Bestial Despoter. And we're going to mill the Obsessive Yu-Gi-Oh! Loop. That doesn't matter. Yu-Gi-Oh! Loop effect, banish the Scarred Dragon Archfiend from the graveyard to add it back to our hand. Yu-Gi-Oh! Loop, banish the Red Rising Dragon. Special summon the UV loop, and now we will synchro into the Centur-ion Auxilla. Auxilla effect, grab the field spell. Then we activate Bestial Despoter's effect, and we're going to bring back our Scarred Dragon Archfiend. Activate Stand-Up Centur-ion, pitch a card to place the Trudea. Trudea effect, special summon herself. Trudea secondary effect, place herself, and place Primera. Then we set the red zone, and we pass. Okay, now this part is a little bit more complicated than you might think. First of all, we're going to use our red zone, of course. Wait for our opponent to do something. We have so much interaction, it's crazy. Okay, our opponent's not going to do anything. Fine. Here's what we do. We summon the Primera, then we Primera to search, and then we chain block with Stand-Up Centur-ion. Now, here's the cool part. We synchro the Primera and the Scarred Dragon Archfiend into the Crimson Dragon. Let me add. And that triggers Scarred Dragon Archfiend's effect during our opponent's turn. So we get to summon another Red Dragon Archfiend, and we get to blow up their entire field. All of their attack position monsters are destroyed. Then we also activate Crimson Dragon's effect. Of course, we bring out the Red Supernova Dragon. We now have a level 12 that's on the board. Actually, we have multiple level 12s on the board for the Red Rain. And there you go. That's the deck. Okay, so insane combos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Here is the deck list that I cooked up. Synchron, 2 Maxis, Crimson, 2 Visions, 1 Red Lotus King, triple Ash, triple Soul Resonator, 1 Obsessive UV Loop, triple Bone Archfiend, 1 Primera, 1 Trudea, 1 Atri, 3 copies of Earthbound Prisoner, 1 copy of Foolish Burial, triple Resonator Call, triple Stand-Up Centur-ion, double Crimson Gaia, 2 Called by the Graves, 3 Emblema Oaths, 1 Infinite Impermanence, 1 Red Rain, 1 Red Zone, 2 Red Risings, 1 Quibelt the Blade Dragon, 2 Red Dragon Archfiends, 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Scarred Dragon Archfiend, 1 Centur-ion Primera Primus, 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, 1 Bestial Despoter, 1 Cosmic Blazer Dragon, 1 Red Supernova Dragon, 1 Crimson Dragon, and 1 Centur-ion Auxilla. Now you might think, well, you just, showed us a bunch of combos with only, Crimson Resonator, but you only have 1. Yes, Crimson Resonator is searchable with the Earthbound Prisoner, the Resonator Call. And the Crimson Gaia also gets you Soul Resonator as well. So that's like 3, 4, 7, 10, 12 starters, along with, of course, Emblema Oath is also a starter. Stand-Up Centur-ion is also a starter. You're good. All right. So that's the deck. Thank you very much to Zedlock for his, his combos. I thought that they were really cool. That's why I wanted to showcase them to you guys. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.